Hey everybody, today I want to talk to you about Sandy. She's a 70-year-old woman from Ohio, and she wants to come live in the Philippines. So my question to you is, can Sandy survive alone here in the Philippines? Is that something you would recommend to an older woman in the U.S. to come here? And before we criticize her in any way, or support her in any way, I want you guys to leave good comments to help her out, because she was up on my live stream and asked this question when I was talking with James, Texas Filipino, and she's also sent me some emails. So I want to help her out to make the right decision. And what's wrong with a woman coming here? Now, she being 70 is a negative coming here. You know, I'm 70 and there's a lot of negatives with me being here, but she lives the same life that we had back in the States. Maybe she doesn't like the political climate in the U.S. Maybe she doesn't like the woke movement. Maybe she is more of a traditional woman. You know, don't just take that she's an American woman that she has a lot of negatives towards men. Maybe she loves men, you know, and wants to be a good wife and a housewife and a caretaker to her partner or her husband. But it's not there for her anymore. You know, she's a survivor, husband's gone, and she has Social Security. She has her Social Security with the survivor benefits, so I don't know which one's higher, but she gets one of them. And she wants to come here. And she's tired of the American way, what's going on in America. She's looking for a place she can come to and enjoy the end of her life, the final years of her life. And I don't know if she wants to live here forever, but once you're 70, wherever you live could be forever. You know, you never know when things happen. Your health can be just like a bowling ball on a table. You know, you're in good health, and all of a sudden, boom, you go off the edge and your health is like lost and you don't have good health anymore. So a lot of her concerns were about where she should live. My first recommendation for someplace to live was Iloilo, based on her description of what she was looking for. She was looking for somewhere where she could walk to the market, walk to the grocery store, walk to shopping, walk to areas to eat. And I thought about when Janet and I were up in Iloilo, you know, there's some nice areas where you can get some nice condos in Mega World, or by the SM Mall that we saw there, where you could get a nice condo, beautiful buildings, great landscaping, right next to the mall, right next to the grocery store. Across the street is the Esplanade. Just a short walk to that. You can walk along the river at night or during the day. You really don't need to buy a car. You don't really need to have a motorbike. You can do everything walking if you're physically able to walk, as long as you can. And at this point, she is physically able to walk. She doesn't need any assistance yet. And to me, that came as a good place. And I also wanted to recommend Dumaguete, but then I caught myself a little bit. With Dumaguete, the walking is harder here because of the uneven sidewalks. Just like in Cebu, the sidewalks are uneven. The power poles right in the middle of the sidewalk or right in the middle of the walking area. There's a lot of dirt roads here. Cebu has a lot of uneven sidewalks, a lot of people that bother you on the street if you're walking, and it's a long walk to every place. And there's a lot of traffic, where Dumaguete doesn't have the traffic, but the negative is the uneven sidewalks. And if you don't live right next to the Robinson Mall, you're not close to the mall. And if you don't live right downtown, you're not close to the market. And you want to live somewhere nicer. And on her budget, you know, her budget is she said it's $300 a month or less to live somewhere. That is the negative. Dumaguete, she can find a place to live for under $300. But it's not going to be the best place in the world. It's going to be okay. And in Iloilo, I don't know if you can find places 300 right next to the mall area. And I'm sure you can. I'm sure you can if you look hard. Just like you can in Dumaguete and in Cebu, you can find places. but you have to look for them. Sometimes they're out of the way. Sometimes they're hard to get to. They're a little bit more of a challenge walking-wise. So it depends on your ability to get around and your transportation, you know. And if you're using foot and public transportation, Iloilo has that. It has nice sidewalks, wide streets, taxis, trikes, jeepneys, buses. It has everything public-wise to get around. It also has in Iloilo a good expat community, which is different than the expat community of Cebu. Cebu is a very transient town. People come there, they live there for 6 months, up to a year, and then they move. You know, they move to the province, mostly men. They move to the province, or they move to where they find a girlfriend. We did know one lady that lived in Solonea. Her husband died a while ago, and they own a condo in Solonea, and she lives there. And the staff takes care of her. Whenever we saw her, she was giving stuff always to the staff. If it was a Coke, if it was a sandwich, snack bags, whatever, she was always being generous to the staff, and the staff sort of looked after her. So in that aspect, she's been there a long time, and she was much older than 70. I'm thinking she's in her 80s, and very nice lady. But for you, Sandy, at 70, you're going to have to find a place on your own. And the best thing to do is to pick one of these cities. Pick a city like Iloilo or even Dumaguete, wherever you want to go, and rent an Airbnb. Prepay for it before you get there. Get to the airport, get to your Airbnb, take a deep breath, and do what you would normally do on a regular day. Go down to the market, see how far it is to the market. See how hard it is to walk to the grocery store. See how much you enjoy walking on the Esplanade. See how much you enjoy taking the taxis, taking the trikes, taking the buses or the jeepneys. See if you enjoy this, if it fits you or not. Don't make the total commitment until you've been here for 30 days. Come here for 30 days. And if you don't like it, you just go back home. You just go back home. Don't sell your stuff. Don't sell your house or your apartment. You know, don't give up on your lease there. Keep it for that 30 days and just go on the vacation to make sure that you like the Philippines, that you like it. I think a lot of people like the idea of the cheaper cost of living. Well, Philippines isn't that much cheaper anymore. Yeah, the rent's way cheaper, but you're saying 300. I'm saying more like 450. And you know, the food is cheaper here for sure. Food is cheaper here for sure. The variety of food you can get in a city like Iloilo is great. You can get a lot of variety up there, a lot of different restaurants. You can eat places inexpensive. And the best thing to do, I don't know your religious background, I don't know your beliefs, but join the church. You know, I'm not saying join the Catholic Church, a big one, but they have many different non-denominational churches. They have Methodist churches. Join one of these where you can fall into a community and just enjoy your life and make new friends. And make sure you really enjoy the Philippines before you make the total commitment to move here. Your other concern was that you had a heart attack before. Now, that's no reason not to travel. That is not a reason to give up on life because you had a heart attack. But you want good hospitals around you. Dumaguete has two good hospitals. They have Silliman and they have ACE hospitals. But they're not that easy to get to if you live out of town. Iloilo, we saw hospitals all over the place. And you can coordinate the condo or place that you're going to rent close to the mall, close to the market, close to the Esplanade, and close to the hospital. That Healthway hospital that Janet and I did a little video on is right down the street from SM Mall, right down the street from the Esplanade, right down the street from Mega World. So you can find good hospitals, good doctors close to everywhere in Iloilo. I'm pushing Iloilo for you because it's a more modern city, it's an urban city, it's big, it's spread out, it's not grown up. The infrastructure is good, the sidewalks are good, the transportation is good. Again, that walk along the river is gorgeous. There's a nightlife, and I'm not talking about 2 o'clock in the morning disco, but you go out for these walks in the evening after the sun's gone down, the Esplanade is lit up, there's street vendors, there's restaurants, there's coffee shops. So much to do to keep you occupied. If you're looking at a place to move because the economics dictate that you need to live cheaper than what you're paying back in the U.S., remember, there's no safety net here. You know, there's no social services here for you. There's nowhere you can go here for help other than the embassy and other expats that you meet, or the church if you belong to a church. And that help from the embassy is limited. It's limited. You know, you go to the hospital here, you have to take care of that bill. You have to be prepared. And you asked me about PhilHealth. The PhilHealth will run you about $300 a year. And yes, it'll get you into the hospital. It'll also get you about a 20% discount off your bill. Go into the hospital when you don't need them, and go talk to somebody in the administration department. Get yourself on record there. Find a doctor who deals and practices out of the hospital that's close to you, and make him your family doctor. And find out about the requirements of being treated when you get there. Do you have to pay in advance? You have PhilHealth. Will they wait on you? Will they take care of you? Will they bill you when you get out? I've heard of a lot of guys get the bill on their way out, and they just signed a form of promise to pay the medical bill. You know, make a payment plan. And different hospitals have different rules. A lot of these hospitals are private hospitals. They're not all public hospitals, and they have different rules. And you go in there and you talk to somebody. And the first time you go in, maybe nobody's going to talk to you. They won't know what you're talking about. But eventually you'll find somebody, and you'll make an appointment with somebody, and you go in there and talk to expats. Wherever you choose, get in conversation with expats. Join expat groups on Facebook and different forums. Yeah, there's a ton of jerks on there, man. You're gonna make a comment like, where do I go to get a flat tire fixed? And they're gonna tell you on every corner, stupid. But you're gonna find a few people who have good advice, who have good information, who are an open book to help somebody, and they have a good heart. And those are the friends you wanna make. So as for rent, I think you need more money than $300 a month for rent. I think you're gonna be closer to that $450 range for rent. Iloilo will give you plenty of places to wander to, walk. You can get the little electric carts because it's flat. You can get those little like little golf carts, they look like, and go around. You don't have to get a motorcycle per se, and you can get around on one of those if need be. The taxis are there. You know, they're all metered. They're good taxis. The trikes, the jeepneys, lots of transportation. The stores are big. The malls are big. The roads are big. The sidewalks are there. I think it has everything you need. It has plenty of hospitals. It has an international airport. Even though that airport does not fly to the U.S., it does fly to Singapore and Hong Kong, I believe. But it's easy to get from Iloilo to Manila, and Manila to an airlines in the U.S. It's just a good location. The weather is good there. They're out of the line of typhoons. You know, for them to get a direct hit by a major typhoon is going to be very, very rare. Probably not in our lifetime. Earthquakes are not there. They don't have the tall mountains close to the city, so there's no volcano. But outside the city, you go out there an hour out of the city, you can find the mountains and streams and places to visit in nature. And you can be on the Esplanade, and you can go on ferry rides to the islands that are around Iloilo. There's a lot to do there. As an older woman, I'm going to push Iloilo over any other city. One, because I think it's safer. Two, because I think it's easier to get around. And everything else is up to you. I hope I answered all your questions, Sandy. I did send you an email. Feel free to email me back. Guys, if you have any suggestions for Sandy before she comes to the Philippines, leave them in the comments section. Until next time, guys.